Karen berating employees at Hungry Jack's. The neon glow of the Hungry Jack sign flickered like it was on its last legs, casting a sickly yellow light over the cracked pavement outside. This part of the city was rough, think needles in the gutters, fights breaking out at the mall for no damn reason, and the kind of people who'd yell slurs at you just for existing. I'm trans, and it's not like I blend in. My ripped jeans, oversized hoodie, and bright pink nail polish make sure of that. Most days, I'm ready for the stares or the occasional "mate, what are ya?" from some drunk trot-eye. But tonight, July 15th, 2025, I was too knackered to care. Sleep deprivation does that, makes the world feel like it's underwater, all blurry and slow. I'd been up for 36 hours, my ADHD brain stuck in a loop of hyperfocus on a new art project, followed by a crash that left me jittery and hollow. All I wanted was a Whopper, some fries, and to collapse into bed. The Hungry Jack's at the edge of the mall was my best bet, even if it meant dodging the usual chaos of this neighborhood. Inside, the place was a mess of noise, kids screaming, the fryer hissing, and a queue of people looking as tired as I felt. The dinner rush was in full swing, and the staff were scrambling like they were auditioning for a stress test. I placed my order, Whopper with extra pickles, large fries, and a Coke, then leaned against a wall near the counter, scrolling through my phone. My mate Jess was texting me about her latest Tinder disaster, and I was half laughing, half typing a reply, my chipped nails tapping the screen. The wait was dragging, but I didn't care. You don't survive in this part of town without learning patience. Besides, I could see the workers busting their arses, teenagers mostly, with one older guy who looked like he'd seen too many late shifts. They were doing their best, and that was enough for me. Then she appeared. Pink tank top, bleached hair scraped into a messy bun, and a sway in her step that screamed on something. She was waiting too, her arms crossed, her foot tapping like she was counting down to an explosion. I barely noticed her at first, too caught up in Jess's story about a guy who brought his pet snake to a date. But then her voice cut through the din like a chainsaw. "Are you lot bloody useless or what?" she shouted, leaning over the counter. "I've been waiting forever. Do you even know how to make a burger?" The room froze. Heads turned. The kid at the register, a girl with purple streaks in her hair and a name tag reading Maddie, flinched but kept her cool, muttering something about it being ready soon. The woman, let's call her Karen, because that's what she was, didn't let up. "This is pathetic. I'm starving, and you're all just standing there. Will I ever get my food?" I glanced up from my phone, my brain sluggish but sparking with irritation. Karen's voice was like nails on a chalkboard, and the way she was tearing into Maddie made my skin crawl. I've dealt with enough Karens in my life, transphobic ones who'd clock me and make a scene, or just entitled pricks who think the world owes them a throne. But this one? She was next level, her words slurring, her eyes wild. Whatever she was on, it wasn't helping her manners. The older guy behind the counter, probably the manager, stepped in. "Ma'am, we're working as fast as we can. It's a busy night." His voice was calm, but you could see the exhaustion in his eyes, the kind that comes from dealing with this shit day after day. Karen wasn't having it. "Busy? You're just slow. I bet you're all high or something. Useless, the lot of you." That's when it happened. My ADHD brain, with its zero filter mode, kicked in. I didn't even look up from my phone, just blurted out, "Yeah, we're all waiting for our food, lady. You're not the only one." My voice was flat, like I was stating the bloody weather, but it carried across the room. Silence. Absolute pin-drop silence. I felt every eye in the place on me, and for a second, I regretted opening my mouth. I'm not exactly intimidating, 5'6", skinny as a rake, with eyeliner that's probably smudged by now. But when I glanced up, Karen was staring at me, her mouth half open like a fish out of water. I braced for her to turn her venom on me, ready for the usual transphobic jab or some rant about minding my own business. But she didn't. Maybe it was the shock of being called out, or maybe she was too far gone to form a comeback. Either way, she shut up, grabbed her bag of food when it came, and stormed out, muttering under her breath. The room exhaled. Maddie shot me a quick, grateful look, her shoulders relaxing a fraction. The manager gave a small nod, like he was saying, "Cheers, mate." I just shrugged and went back to my phone, my heart pounding a bit. Jess's next text popped up, "LMAO, tell me you recorded that." I smirked, typing back, "Nah, too tired. Just wanted my burger." When my order was ready, I stepped up to the counter. Maddie handed me the bag, and I could see the strain in her face, the kind that comes from holding it together under pressure. "You guys are doing great," I said, meaning it. "Ignore that Karen. She's off her rocker." Maddie's lips twitched into a half-smile. "Thanks. It's been a night." "Tell me about it," I said, grabbing my food. Hang in there. I left the Hungry Jack's, the cool night air hitting my face like a slap. The street was alive with the usual chaos, some guy yelling into his phone, a group of teens vaping near the bus stop, the distant wail of a siren. This city never slept, and neither did I, apparently. I walked home, munching on fries, my mind replaying the scene. I hadn't planned to be the hero of the night. Hell, I'm no hero. I'm just a trans kid with ADHD who can't keep their mouth shut sometimes. But I'd said what everyone was thinking, and that felt good. Back in my tiny flat, I collapsed onto my couch, the Whopper still warm in its wrapper. My phone buzzed with another text from Jess, "Proud of you, you chaotic gremlin." I laughed, the sound echoing in the quiet room. Maybe I was a gremlin, but tonight, I'd shut down a Karen and made Maddie's night a little easier. That was enough. As I drifted toward sleep, the city's noise fading into a dull hum, I thought about this place, rough, messy, and full of people who'd judge you in a heartbeat. But it was mine, and so were moments like these. Moments where a blurted comment could cut through the bullshit, where a kind word could make someone's day. I'd take that over a perfect city any day.